actually collaborating with SimpleCloud and Autodesk software. Specifically, we're going to look at Inventor today. We'll go through a real quick agenda here. I'll do a SolidCAD intro. We'll talk a little bit about data gravity and SimpleCloud Demo. And also I'll ask one of the attendees to join us. Derek, feel free to unmute and ask questions as we go through.
All right, thank you.
We'll try and make it as specific to you as we possibly can. So just real quick breeze through of SolidCAD's intro, and then we'll get to the guts of it. So SolidCAD timeline, we've been around since 1996. Through acquisition and growth, we've become the Autodesk largest partner in Canada. Part of the Cancel group of companies. And part of that Cancel umbrella, we have access to other services and other technologies that we can integrate with and supply different hardware and software needs. And that's the Cancel umbrella. We're in a lot of industries. We provide software and technical support and expertise too. Quick little breeze through of smattering of some of SolidCAD's clients. What we do, we help our clients implement technology and optimize workflows, design efficiency, industry standards, communication, and delivery. What's SolidCAD's value add? Expertise in CAD, GIS, survey, InfraWorks, Revit, Inventor, all of the Autodesk stack. We have professional services, coaching, implementation, training, workflows, and automation. Partner products. Autodesk, Bluebeam, Accurate, Scanning, Fluid Flow, Safe Software, Virtualization, Visualization, and more importantly today, SimpleCloud AECM solution. SolidCAD has training facilities across Canada. With COVID, our 19 physical training centers are closed, but our online virtual classrooms and virtual classroom labs are 100% full on and available. Okay, let's talk about the guts of this stuff. Data gravity. Efficient data processing happens close to the source. So what the heck is data gravity? Well, if you can get the CPU and the GPU, the RAM, and all those things close to the data applications and file storage, you've got a win. The idea of data gravity is that wherever your data lives, that's where you want to have your data processing and things happen. So how do remote users get close to the data? Well, there's two ways to do it. You can bring the user hardware close to the data. One of those ways of doing that is with remote access to hardware in the office, on-prem, office file storage, that kind of stuff. So that's one way to get the user closer to the data. The other way is remote access to hardware in the cloud file storage, and using SimpleCloud. The other way is what I call data slushing, and that's bringing your data closer to the hardware. That's where you use things like OneDrive, Dropbox, Google Drive, Autodesk Vault. The big problem in there is the latency, waiting for those files to arrive and synchronizing it. Autodesk Vault does a brilliant job of data replication and synchronization to get that data close to the end user's hardware. But today we're focusing on SimpleCloud because it's the solution that gets the end user high performance access to the data that lives on the SimpleCloud infrastructure and that you edit and modify. Okay, I'm finished talking, time for a demo. So I'm going to go over and take a look at SimpleCloud. I've already launched a SimpleCloud instance, and this is running on a virtual machine on SimpleCloud's infrastructure.
Frank, do you want me to go through my deck as well, or just go through the demo?
Sure.
Sorry about that.
Absolutely. Let's ask our participant. What do you want to see next? Do you want to see a demo of Inventor, or do you want to see a demo of other software running on SimpleCloud?
Whatever you guys prefer.
You tell us. What do you want to see today, buddy?
I guess the demo.
Okay.
Derek, I was going to give a few pages on Simple, a little background. Would that be helpful, or do you just want to dive into the demo?
You know what? Let's give a little background context. So you can share. So I'm going to stop sharing, and you can share your screen over there, Scott.
Okay, but I'll just quickly go through this. Oops. Sorry, can you, Frank? Is that showing up? Okay.
Yep, looks good.
Okay. Great. So my name is Scott. I'm head of North America for SimpleCloud. The company itself was founded about 14 years ago. Headquarters is in Madrid, Spain, and about 4 years ago created basically what today is the SimpleCloud platform, which essentially is a workplace as a service platform for content creators to work in the cloud. Think of Simple as a platform that helps managers to get teams working quickly remotely. All you need is a thin client. Sorry, there's a build here that I thought I took out. All you need is a thin client and internet access, and you can access our platform with powerful virtual machines in the cloud. It's a bring your own license model in terms of software. So for like Revit, Autodesk Inventor, etc., you can bring your existing license credentials and you can use the software on our platform. We do cover the within the cost of our service. We do cover the cost for VMware and Windows, and then we're soon to launch on the platform on Linux before the end of the year. So we cover the cost of that as well in terms of model. We are on IBM data centers worldwide. Within IBM data centers, we have NVIDIA V100 graphics cards in those data centers. We have, and also we use VMware in terms of creating the virtual machines within our platform. And SimpleCloud is the layer on top that creates essentially the ability to create virtual studios and get people working, and all the infrastructure. It's basically there within the platform. We're a global platform, so we have coverage in all major regions in the Americas, Europe, and Asia. But we have the ability to scale up to data centers worldwide in as many as 60 data centers with IBM. And within our platform, we can support multiple monitors in terms of output, four monitors in 4K, providing a pretty decent internet connection. And in terms of key benefits, I'll just name a few. SimpleCloud provides a level of flexibility, so you have the power to let your employees or your team work from home. It's secure. We're on IBM data centers, enjoy their security certifications as well as ours. We're ISO certified and have other certificates as well. With SimpleCloud, it gives you the power to work from wherever you want, whenever you want, adding the flexibility, and lower your physical footprint in the office, which I think is a big benefit. It's on demand, so you can use it when you need it and turn it off when you don't need it. So when your project's finished, you don't have to hold on to physical infrastructure and physical machines after a project's completed. It's customizable, so SimpleCloud can be highly adapted to your way of working. Our team has worked with various customers to adapt it to the way they like to work, versus the other way around, that the customer's having to adapt to using the platform. And I think one key benefit is shifting business models, because you can turn it on when you need it and turn it off when you don't. You can shift business models from CapEx to OpEx, which is another big benefit for businesses. I won't go through the whole list here, but there's a lot of other great things about the platform. In terms of, I think I mentioned, Linux is coming a little bit later in the year. We support multiple languages. We support a hybrid environment, which I'll show you in a second, and then as well as multi-site collaboration, because we have data centers in different regions. I won't go through that exhaustively. In terms of increasing, flexibility, just some examples are you can set up studios for specific tasks and projects, like measuring and modeling. Employees and external collaborators can work together within the same model at the same time within the platform. And project leaders can assign and approve tasks through our pipeline tool and our digital asset management within the platform. Lastly, I'll just focus on, within Simple, we have a few ways of working. One is you can work 100% in the cloud through our platform, or we can adapt Simple to basically what we call hybrid structure, where we can adapt Simple to work with your existing infrastructure, your company. And with that, Frank, I think I'll pass it back to you to go into the demo. Is there any questions?
Cool. Okay, so I'm logged into the SimpleCloud infrastructure, and there's the actual remote desktop. Let's just get out of my PowerPoint slide deck. So I've logged in through the SimpleCloud interface, and I'm running the VMware Horizon client, and with that is how I see and connect directly to this. So if I minimize this, yeah, it looks like it's running inside of a window here, but that's a window into that virtual machine. So let's just make this full screen so you can see everything. That looks great. Okay, so I've got access to very powerful hardware here. Let's just take a quick look at the task manager and take a look at what we are running in this virtual machine. So this virtual machine has got 16 cores. It's got 48 gigabytes of memory. And for the NVIDIA grid, it's got 4 gigabytes of dedicated GPU that it is using, which means that when I hold down my shift key and my wheel mouse button, I get real-time feedback. I get real-time access to this. It's just like I'm running Inventor on my local machine. File, let's go make ourselves a new one, just a simple one. And I haven't done anything in Inventor for, oh gosh, months and months and months. So we're gonna go start a sketch, put in a rectangle, pick a plane. This is the plane I wanna work on. And we go in and put in a rectangle. You know, type the letter E for extrude, and we're extruding it, doing everything that you would normally do inside of Inventor, and boom, away we go. Start sketching on a surface. Create another rectangle. Do another extrude, and away we go. So this is how, you know, very easy to use. Everything that you would do on your local machine, you can do in the cloud with SimpleCloud. Open it up for questions. Are there any other applications you folks would like to see demonstrated?
So I'm just, I'm kind of went into this with no knowledge of what SimpleCloud is. So it's my understanding that it's a service that hosts the apps in the cloud so you could collaborate and work on them together, like project files for Revit, Inventor, stuff like that.
Exactly. And one of the beautiful things that the folks at SimpleCloud do really well is that on this particular machine, I've got shared folders or shared drives where I would put my project stuff. So this is where I would put all my project work. And because the other people inside of this virtual infrastructure would also have access to this project folder or project drive, that's how we communicate or collaborate. And it would be the same thing as what you would do in your typical office environment, whereby you'd have a network drive and you would have centralized storage. The beauty of this, going back to that concept of data gravity, is that your data and your applications are all close to each other inside of that SimpleCloud infrastructure. And so you have excellent performance.
So is this also a form of enterprise content management?
It could be. That's not the main purpose of it. One of the things that SimpleCloud does, another thing that SimpleCloud does really well is with regards to security. So all of these files live and work on the SimpleCloud infrastructure. The end users don't have access to download or modify the files outside of this environment. So this is great for people that you're trying to protect your intellectual property and you don't want anyone to take those files home or work on those files at home if you have to have secure environment policies, that kind of thing.
Okay, and does this, so it's bring your own license model.
Yes.
So I know Autodesk is moving to user-named licenses versus
Exactly.
like concurrent user.
Mm-hmm.
So does this service also manage the licenses? Like if you had, I don't know how to.
If you have a network license manager.
Yeah, that's what we.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, this is a user license commercial. Let's change this license type to what? I'm going to select network license. One of the things that we have, another thing that's SimpleCloud does is if you've got an external license manager, you can configure that in the SimpleCloud infrastructure. It's pretty easy. And then you can say, yeah, let's go and use the network license manager. And now I'm using the network license manager and I'm pulling a license from our network license manager server. Let's go and manage the license again so you can see this. And now you can see it's using a network license.
Okay.
And then I've got the ability to borrow the license, check the license in, check the license out, all the kind of stuff you would do for the traditional FlexLM network license. So the nice thing about this model is there's compatibility with that old school way of doing network licensing for the FlexLM. Plus, there's also compatibility. Obviously, I can just sign in and sign out, and based on the Autodesk transition to named accounts, those people can just sign in, and as soon as they sign in, they pull a license.
So would this be managed through single sign-on?
It could be.
Okay.
Currently, this is set up not that way in this environment, but that's something I'm sure we could talk with Scott about for customization for single sign-on.
The other question I have is, I guess, do you have a demo using regular AutoCAD? Because that's
sure. Let's look at that. Why not?
The main.
That's what
we
you
use
do.
at our organization.
Yep. So where's my SimpleCloud launcher? It was here a minute ago. So inside of my virtual machine, I mean, we can customize the background wallpaper. We've got the SolidCAD wallpaper on the back. There's this idea of projects, and when you select the projects, then you get access to the network drives and things like that that are part of the project.
Okay.
We've got Civil 3D installed here. Yeah, let's launch Civil 3D. It'll take a little bit because it's the first time it's launching. While that's launching, let's go and take a look at the other software that we have installed here. Let's go to the Autodesk software. Yeah, we've got AutoCAD 2021 English. We'll open that up in just a bit. And also the different languages of AutoCAD too. If you work in an office where you've got people that speak French or Italian or German or something like that, they get a version of that AutoCAD in that specific language. And there's a way to configure that in the control panel for SimpleCloud to say that user speaks English, that user speaks German, no problem. They get a German desktop, they get the German AutoCAD, they get all that kind of thing. And it's going to take a minute for it to finish launching the first time. I think the timing on it's about 3 minutes for the first launch.
Is there any integration with existing enterprise content management software, like Office 365, SharePoint Online, OpenText?
Yes, this virtual machine has got Office 365 installed on it, so I can go and okay, so use the desktop icons to access this software. Okay, no problem. So yeah, I could go and say WordPad, and there's my Microsoft Word. So we've got full access to the Microsoft stack. And again, you know, sign in using your account credentials and you get the software. Yep, so there's all your office applications and things like that. Are you looking at having a hosted SharePoint site, or do you already have a SharePoint site or a OneDrive site that you want to have access to?
I guess it's just to work in collaboration with, so like managing metadata for the different files and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can log into your OneDrive from here and do everything that you need to do for getting your files and editing your files, that kind of stuff. The really beautiful thing about working in the cloud and being in the cloud is this. Let's have this one. This will be impressive. Let's take a look at the connectivity speed that we have to other applications and other data sources on the internet, or rather on the web. So, I mean, your typical home user is lucky if they get up around, I don't know, 30, 40, 50. This is a speed that we have running inside of the data center. So this is the access speed that we have to download and upload files to anywhere on the internet. So you're now talking about huge pipes to things like Dropbox, huge pipes to the Autodesk software stack if you need to download and install something. The download speed is just absolutely brilliant. So is the upload speeds. So if you want to get files to or from Dropbox from here, blindingly fast. Okay, so we're in Civil 3D. I probably should have fired up Civil 3D as AutoCAD, but I'm going to go in here, draw myself a line, and as I'm clicking with the mouse, it's real time, right? There's no laggy, jaggy, oh, the graphics are delaying or something. As fast as I can move my mouse around locally, it is capturing it and working inside of that virtual machine. Let's open up a sample one here. Of course, I didn't bother to check to see where they are. Let's just open up this one, see what we have. It's read only, no problem. But yeah, opening drawings, saving drawings, all the things that you would typically do with your AutoCAD stuff is what you would do here.
Okay. So just, I apologize, maybe I should have looked into SimpleCloud a bit more before attending this meeting, but my understanding is it's to replace local installations in the company so that you don't have to deploy it and package it for every user.
Exactly, yeah.
How would this manage like users' individual settings? Is it by user when they log into the cloud service?
That's an excellent question. Thanks for asking it. So one of the things that does happen here in the background is the VMware actually captures the settings for the users. So let's take a quick look at that. With regards to user configurations and user profiles and things like that. So for my AutoCAD applications, if I've got some customizations that I have for that particular user, that's stored and captured. When I'm running things like InfraWorks, it captures my model data and the models that I've been working on in my temporary folder locally, and it saves that information off to a central storage location so that when I come back in here, and each time I come in every day, I get a new virtual machine. I'm not worried about, I don't have to worry about something that someone else has installed or some other leftover junk from the day before. I get a brand new fresh machine, and it just copies over some of the files that I've been working, my customization files. Like for the InfraWorks, it would bring over that information. For the Revit stuff, if I'd worked on some custom stuff in Revit that needed to be saved off to a local file store, it pushes that off too, and I can get back to it the next day.
And
right,
Frank, I would add, you can also, by individual users, set up their permissions within the platform, such as FTP access. You upload, download. You can give them certain names. You like manager, supervisor. There's different things you could do on an individual basis when you're setting up basically the studio within the platform as a manager.
Right, and as I mentioned previously, you also have this concept of network shared storage, so that you have a place to put your project files and manage your project files. You know, we're really getting away from that idea of people working off their C drive on SimpleCloud, as well, realistically, I mean, you're not working on your C drive when you're using SimpleCloud. You're working on infrastructure up in the cloud.
Is there any workflows or, you know, that could be set up within this platform, or is it just collaboration space?
What kind of workflows are you interested in?
Like approvals and, you know, quality control, that type of stuff.
Okay. Well, you could, if you were interested in doing something like that, there's nothing to stop you from using a product that's we've already installed in here. Okay, I'm just going to hit cancel there. Let's go back to the SimpleCloud interface. One of the things that we've gone and installed here is Autodesk Vault, so that we can do that whole approval workflow and things like that. If that's a software that you're interested in doing those kinds of workflows for check-in, check-out, that kind of a thing, that would be, from an Autodesk perspective, the most recommended solution.
That's kind of why I was asking the earlier question about if it's supported by other enterprise content management software, because we're going to be using OpenText AECM for engineering.
Okay, cool. It hasn't been installed on this virtual machine, but that's definitely a conversation you could have with Scott and some of the engineers, for sure.
Definitely. Frank, I don't know if it's also worth mentioning, but this is a little more aimed at animation, but we do have a built-in pipeline tool. And we have a lot of great developers at our headquarters that have worked on developing. It's essentially a pipeline for animation and other businesses, but you know, that's potentially another route in terms of managing approvals and workflows. But I think what you proposed here, Frank, is probably more direct, but just wanted to mention that's another aspect of the platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I think that's it for me. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Derek. One other thing I'll note is that we can set up trials, sort of free trials for companies, and give you a chance to you know, demo and try the virtual machines in the platform for yourself. And then if there's any software you want to try specifically that you haven't seen here, we can onboard that for you as well. But I think we should have most of it captured already. But happy to talk about anything you don't see. And if interest, we can arrange a trial and walk through the process of, you know, how to create studios and how to work with the platform.
Yeah, sure. If you want to send me the information, I guess you have my contact information from me signing up. We are a SolidCAD customer already for our Autodesk products.